Hey guys, welcome back to the MJ Gooner podcast right here for the post-match review. Arsenal 3, Manchester United 1, and what a game. What a game to end, to be honest. I mean, I would never imagine we're going to win this game. I mean, the whole time when we played today, I don't think it was pretty, but a very unimaginable finish to win the game. Declan Rice with the winner, Gabriel Jesus with another cushion to the winner as well. And you know what? I don't care. We might play poorly today. I think we played poorly. But you know what? At the end of the day, getting the 3 points against, your biggest rival in the last few years. Not quite so in the last, 5-10 years. But you know what? It feels like bring that kind of rivalry 20-30 years ago. I might not be alive, or I was really, really young. But, it has that vibe behind the match. So let's talk about the whole game in general. A lot to talk about, to be honest. Again, Thomas Partey, I think the rumor is true. But in terms of how long he's going to be out, I'm not quite sure. Hopefully he's going to be back soon. But I'm sure even after the international break, I don't think he will be making any appearances for a while. And it was a shame, to be honest. I felt like Thomas Partey could probably, replace Kai Havertz and moving Declan Rice at the number 8 role, box-to-box midfielder. But at the end of the day, we got the win. That's all that matters, right? So looking at the starting lineup, thank God we are back with the basic. Playing forward at the back, Zinchenko, Gabriel, Saliba, Ben White. What I'm thinking is that, without Zinchenko starting, Gabriel will not start. So they're kind of like a pairing right there. So it's frustrating, which means that if Zinchenko is out, Gabriel has to sit on the bench. And I think today Gabriel play well. Not like top, but he played pretty well today. But like I said, having that stability at the back or stability in general today was massive for us. We don't have to compromise some of the position in order to kind of fill in different spots, and then a few spots or a few plays in the Arsenal area, defending area, might seem lacking, but it didn't happen. Didn't quite happen. So, you know what? I'm still kind of processing the whole winner thing. I just can't believe it. But I'm happy Arteta went back to 4 at the back, because certainly it provides quite a bit of stability, even though individual mistakes still quite happening at the moment. So let's talk about the game in general. Again, Manchester United, the whole time, I feel like the majority of the game, they have possession of the ball. And what can you do? I mean, they're coming... they're coming into the Emirates, winning or beating Nottingham Forest last time out, with the unimaginable comeback for them, of course. You got to give credits to the team where they're down by 2. They came back by scoring 3 goals in a row. And that's what Arsenal did last season. So United did the same thing, so they might come into the Emirates feeling very confident, and that's why they have the possession of the ball. Might be that's the way how they play, but again, it's very tough, because I'm not very used to, getting, in terms of possession, getting dominated throughout the whole time. It was very tough to watch. It was quite boring, because pretty much we didn't quite have much of an entertainment throughout the whole game. Until, Rashford scored the first goal. But of course, the entertainment started with Kai Havertz with a sitter. It was Martinelli on the left, crosses in the middle, ricochet between Martial and Dalot at the back, and somehow fell in front of Kai Havertz. And that was a very, very bad miss. I mean, I've been talking to myself during the game the whole time, and I thought, please, Kai, please have a good game. Please make people think that you're worth 65 million. But today, certainly it's not one of those performances where, it seems like that 65 million was down the drain. It feels like that way after that sitter. It was horrible. Honestly, it was a very horrible miss. I mean, I just can't imagine. I mean, with his stronger foot as well, scuff it, skim it, at the side of the football and lands to Eddie. But Martinez, good player. I mean, I don't like the fact that how dirty he can be, but in terms of quality, technical ability, he's a top player. Martinez, of course, eventually he is a World Cup winner. You gotta give it to that, and that recovery from him kind of poked the ball away off Eddie. It was massive for United. And that was pretty much the first chance we had, but honestly, it was also a chance where we could probably turn the game around a little bit because, we don't want to be, we just don't want to play in that way. I mean, Onana, Lindelof, Martinez, very calm at the back. That's why I'm scared. It's when a team that calm in their defensive area, you just kind of know that if you press them in any moment, they will go at you. They will do a counterattack. But thank God today at least for the first 20, 30 minutes, even though United defense, they were trying to play diagonal ball. But thank God Ben White was there, Saliba, Gabriel. I mean, none of those diagonal balls worked out. At the end of the day, I mean, we claimed the ball back and we kind of go ahead. Until 28th minutes, it was painful. I think it was 27 minutes. It was painful. We started building momentum a little bit better and better and better until Kai Havertz gave the ball away, counterattack to Christensen, to Rashford, cuts inside. A good finish. I mean, if you give Rashford that much space, in your defensive area, and that, from a counterattack, he was bound to score. And he did. It was a good finish. Arguably, you can say that Ramsdale could have a stronger hand to it. Of course, he got to touch the ball. His fingertips probably got a bit of a ball and it hit inside the post. It was a good finish. And arguably, you can say that Ben White, Saliba could have probably closed him down. Or at least both of them knows that Rashford in that sort of circumstances would cut inside and go at you. And he did. And you can also trace back to the origin of the mistake. Origin of the possession was Eriksen. Eriksen got the ball. How did he get the ball? Was through Kai Havertz's mistake. Again, we are yet to, we concede another one with a mistake sometimes, and it's just very tough. Very tough to take. But you know what? I realize we survived the 1 minute mark today. I'm very happy because, we all know that we concede within 1 minute. The whole game is going to be ruined. Thank God we survived the first 5 minutes until the 27th minute. It was a counterattack. Poor play from Kai Havertz. And based on those two mistakes today, that's pretty much sums up, Kai Havertz, his career for Arsenal at the moment. But I still want to back my players. I know how horrible he was today, but that doesn't mean I shouldn't support him. Of course, I still want to cheer for him. I still want to support him. I still want him to do the best he can, because certainly there's a player in him, right? The reason why he plays so well for Bayern Leverkusen, there must be a reason why. And maybe changing to a new environment, especially in Chelsea, the way how they were discombobulated, how Chelsea was, pretty much affect him in a lot of ways. And certainly coming to the Emirates, coming to Arsenal, might give him a different vibe, different environment to strive. And unfortunately, still, today is not his day. Later on, the good thing about this team is that we tend to bounce back. We tend to answer immediately. We're trying to look for a responder very soon, and we got that. Martinelli feeds it off to Zinchenko. I thought he was going to give it to Martinelli down the line pretty much so, but Eddie got the ball. One-touch pass to Martinelli. Martinelli passed the ball in the middle, lays it off to Odegaard. Good finish right there. I think the goal between Rashford and Odegaard was 110 seconds apart, almost 2 minutes apart from each other, and responded immediately. It was a good finish. It was a good respawn. I think it was, again, a perfect time to respawn as well. It feels like we didn't concede at all. I mean, I felt like that disappointment of 1 minute after conceding that goal was gone immediately, which is good because we're still in the game. At least we're not behind. And that Onana, if you guys did watch the game, Onana was pumping, cheering after Rashford scoring the goal, and later on the other hand, conceding that goal at the 28th minute, he would, what was it? He was like calming down, the two different emotions right there. And it shows, it shows what Arsenal can do to you at times. And later on, I couldn't really think of any chances, to be honest. I think Martinelli looks bright on the left-hand side. Wan-Bissaka did pretty well against Martinelli. I think after that, Martinelli tried to exploit more on the left-hand side, but eventually Wan-Bissaka did quite well. Dalot on the other side did pretty well, suppressing Bukayo Saka throughout the whole game. Bukayo Saka didn't really have that type of performance today, which is fine because we know that he's Bukayo Saka. He's gonna be better. He's gonna improve, and we don't have to solely rely on Bukayo Saka a lot of times, right? So that's another good thing about the whole Arsenal team. Bukayo Saka might not have, having an A game, but you have like Eddie, you have Martinelli, Odegaard today, and just like that, we got the equalizer. But throughout the whole first half, towards the end of the first half, pretty much the same thing, to be honest. Couldn't really think of a chance where Arsenal might capitalize on a mistake or United trying to capitalize on a mistake. It was pretty much dull and boring towards the end of the first half. But it is what it is. I mean, we allowed United to keep possession of the ball the majority of the time, and we defend pretty well today. So kudos to the team. Later on, second half came on. Well, again, it's pretty much the same thing, to be honest. But another key point was, I believe it was 10-15 minutes after, Kai Havertz was brought down in a penalty. It was a good piece of play by Eddie. I think, Eddie has become better and better in his game, and I'm glad he stayed in the end. I know I said I would rather have Balogun in the team ahead of Eddie, but I'm wrong. So everybody's human at the end of the day, and I apologize for my comment on Eddie because Eddie certainly proved me wrong at the start of a great season. But Eddie received the ball, a good pass to Kai Havertz through between Wan-Bissaka and also Lindelof, I believe so, and he was brought down. I thought it was a clear penalty. From that angle, it was a clear penalty, isn't it? I mean, from the bird eye view or from the spectator view, it looks like a penalty, but, the more you look into it, the more you check VAR, you check the replay. The more you zoom into it, the more you realize it wasn't a penalty. It was, there was a bit of a contact, but certainly not to the point where it was, it warranted a penalty for Arsenal. But it is what it is. I mean, isn't it? I mean, I thought Kai Havertz kind of certainly helped himself a little bit today, despite having a poor first half. But I thought that was a moment where, oh my God, he looks bright, threw on goal, but he went down a little bit soft. I think he could have probably go all the way through if he wanted to, but that wasn't quite the case, isn't it? So, well, it is what it is. So, just gotta let it pass like that. Anthony Taylor looking at the VAR monitor, it was clearly not a penalty. Fair play. I don't think it was a penalty after looking at that. And I think our substitution was a little bit slow. I don't think we made our first changes, or we made a triple subs within, I think, in the 70th minute. Tomiyasu coming on for Zinchenko, Vieira coming on for Kai Havertz, and also Jesus coming on for Eddie. I think that was the quality that we need, to be honest. I mean, a few years ago when we tried to sub on a few players, we just couldn't. I mean, we just couldn't really find that type of quality of player. We couldn't really upgrade in certain positions. But Vieira coming on for Kai Havertz, it was a good move. I've been wanting Vieira, even though he might not be starting. I knew he wasn't going to start today, to be honest. But he came on. Vieira looks as bright when he was with against Fulham. Tomiyasu did the simplest thing, very calm on the ball. Jesus scoring a winner. This is what you need, a game changer, right? A game changer to the game. And those are the players that can deliver that. A couple years ago, 3-4 years ago, we don't have that at all. And I'm glad, fast forward to today, we have that type of substitution that can change the whole game, and those subs did. What else? What else I want to talk about? And then later on, I thought we're not going to win this game. I thought, if anything else, if we're lucky enough, we're going to draw the game, or we are going to lose the game. There's no bit of tendency or urgency where we're gonna win. Just a little bit quite frustrating to play, driving down on the flank, all the way to the corner area, kind of pass the ball back again, going around the world, and pretty much a similar display as well. I'm trying to break those little, hoping there's a bit of a gap between defensive lines of United defense. And at one point, Martinez was subbed off and Lindelof was subbed off. I believe both of them might be injured, something like that. But certainly, if they are able to carry on with the game, they will. Harry Maguire came on. Johnny Evans came on as well. Honestly, the unimaginable combo or pair at the back. And I thought, after putting those two players in, I thought we might be going to, potentially win the game. But it doesn't look like that way. United counterattack was pretty good, to be honest. And, of course, Bruno Fernandes was the best puncher out of it. But, again, he's a good player, but sometimes he has that punchable face, He exaggerates a lot of stuff. He's world class. Don't get me wrong. He's world class. But there's sometimes I think he's a little bit unnecessary in certain actions. But, well, it is what it is. They're pretty good at counterattack. And honestly, there's another point throughout the whole game was pretty much we still have a lot of individual mistakes. We allowed United to do a counterattack because we keep losing the ball in the middle in a very unnecessary position. Declan Rice did once. Saliba did once. Gabriel, Zinchenko, they all did pretty much. So it was that one misplaced pass allowing the opposition, allowing United to make a counter-attack. And that's pretty much what happened in the last 5 minutes, I believe. So, Højlund, I think Højlund looks like a pretty good player for United, and I'm sure he is going to, play pretty well for United based on the 25-30 minute cameo from him. He looks pretty bright. Garnacho coming on for Antony, and I know Garnacho's going to cause trouble, right? I think Garnacho done better than Antony throughout the whole game in general. Again, I don't want to be, of course, like, as an Arsenal fan, I can say that, Saka is way better than who. Well, in this game, certainly I feel like Garnacho's impact is much better than Saka, despite Garnacho only had a few minutes of a cameo. But again, Saliba dispossessed the ball right down the middle pretty much, so allowing Højlund to play a through ball to Garnacho. He scored. It was a beautiful finish by Garnacho. I wish we have players like him, who can, finish in areas like that, having the pace as well. Garnacho is certainly going to go up another level this season. He took a new jersey number today, 17. And he's going to be a good player, Garnacho. So United fans, you guys are pretty much in good hands for the next few years, attacking wise, but certainly you guys might need to sign a few more players up front. He scored that goal. I thought it was onside. Put it that way. I thought it was onside the whole time. It looks like Gabriel kind of covered the line a little bit, covered the offside line. And I think in that moment, there's no point of Gabriel trying to run back with Garnacho in that moment, right? It wouldn't make a lot of sense, isn't it? If you run back along with Garnacho, he's definitely going to be onside, right? So what Gabriel did was pretty much to you can see based on that VAR image, he stopped, right? He stopped allowing Garnacho to go through. Ben White was pretty much the closest person to catch him. Garnacho, good finish. No defense was. None of the Arsenal players came close to Garnacho. It was a good finish, but even Garnacho himself didn't seem convinced about his finishing. Put it that way. Not his finishing, his celebration as well. He just knew something might be up because, again, with the whole VAR, this is the problem, right? VAR took away the joy of celebrating a goal. I'm saying this as a neutral fan. Whatever you're Chelsea, United, Spurs. I think that's what VAR can do to you. you cannot be very certain with every goal you score right now because you would never know if there's an offside onto the score or an offside to the build-up. And it turns out it was an offside just by an inch. Just a small inch right there. I mean, Gabriel was smart enough to kind of not go along with Garnacho and said stop. You can see he was kind of leaning forward just a little bit, but at the same time, both of his feet were on the ground. Garnacho was offside just a little bit. And honestly, if there's no VAR or if VAR wasn't even a thing, I wouldn't be, I would be disappointed that we'd conceded, but I wouldn't be like all over the VAR thing, right? I mean, we were lucky to get away with it because I thought today United deserved to win. Put it that way. And pretty much towards the last 8 minutes, extra time, I thought, you know what? After Garnacho scoring that goal, I'll be happy to take the draw and move on to the international break. That was my initial impression. I hope that was the case, right? Isn't it? 92nd, 93rd minute. Was it 94th minute or 95th minute? Corner coming in. It was Odegaard this time. Gabriel blocking off Johnny Evans. Falls right to Declan Rice. Good first touch. Good chest touch with them by him. And finish that one. It was a good finish, I'm telling you. Not trying to smash it directly, but trying to shoot it off the floor, off the ground, getting some sort of ricochet, and it happened. Johnny Evans stuck his foot out. Onana got a touch to it, but the ball was too strong at that point for anybody to save the ball. Declan Rice with the last minute winner. And I thought, you know what, Declan Rice have introduced himself to the Gunners today, to the rivalry. I think he played very well today, like I said. I mean, except that one little missed pass he did towards the end of the second half, towards the full time. He played amazingly, to be honest. And Declan Rice with the winner. I mean, 105 million for him. Maybe at the end of the day, it's worth it. I mean, we might pay 20, 30, 40 million extra for English international along with the English tax. But you cannot deny Declan Rice today has been very, very good. Man of the match for me. Put it that way. We got the winner. Potential winner. But, after scoring the goal, looks like a winner. And we thought, it might be United's time to shine. They put everybody forward. Keep crossing in the middle or trying to loft the ball in the middle. Hopefully they will get the second ball and attack us. And there's one play, I think it was before Declan Rice winner. Rashford, take a shot. Good save by Ramsdale, and Saliba, good block as well. Kai Havertz also had a pretty good block in the first half against Eriksen. Again, I mean, this is what Arsenal need. Players who would commit and come back defensively, trying to make a block, trying to stop any damage. And that's what Arsenal's all about. And in the end, I thought we might concede because we're pretty good at that, isn't it? I mean, that's what happened to the game against Fulham. We conceded in the end, poor mistake, poor set pieces, positioning. And I thought, you know what, Arsenal can do a very classic Arsenal thing by conceding. And I thought that was going to be a case until, I believe it was somebody crossed the ball in the middle. Casemiro crossed the ball in the middle, or Eriksen crossed the ball in the middle. Lost the ball in the middle to everybody, to any of the United player. But a ball coming to the middle. It was a clearance by Jorginho, I believe, or Saliba. Nelson came on. Again, I was very surprised Trossard didn't come on, but I guess we know why, because Nelson, in a way, changed the game as well. Got the second ball off Rashford. Pretty much a through ball or nick the ball to the point where Vieira can get the ball safely. And Vieira, again, this guy making another impact. It might not be like the most insane, most ridiculous, incredible assist you would see, but the fact that his position, his final ball was on point. A lot of players in that area might take another extra touch. Jesus could be offside if there was an extra touch. But Vieira did exactly what he's pretty good at. That final ball to Gabriel Jesus. Gabriel Jesus threw on goal. I thought he was going to shoot it with his left foot. Dalot came on, slid in, but Jesus, there is a reason why we signed him. It's how calm he is in front of goal. Despite we all know how good of a mister he can be sometimes, but that was a brilliant finish. Set down Dalot and also set down Onana. Placed that one in beautifully to bottom right corner. Arsenal win the game 3-1, and there's also another 2 minutes added on. I don't know why, but Arsenal with the late winner, Declan Rice, Gabriel Jesus for the last minute win. Thank God extra time has extended. Like I said, I mean, the whole extra time guideline, it's going to be costing moments like that. If the game, if it was only 3 or 4 minutes added on, I don't think we'll be able to score that 2 winner. But the fact that we changed the entire rules, changed the entire guideline of the whole football match, this is the special moments that will produce. Whether if you're home team or away team, it might happen. And today, it was lucky for Arsenal today. It happens to us. We grabbed the winner. I don't know where we are in the league table right now, but it might not be the most convincing victory ever. Like I said, horrible display, but unimaginable finish, unimaginable ending towards the end. And we are heading to the international break next week. So some players getting some rest off, and some players might be, still sticking with the team. Again, I think after what happened today, I'm okay having, taking a break. And speaking of taking a break, I'll be on a flight. I'll be going back to Hong Kong to see families for 2.5 weeks. So my flight's in 14 hours. So this is pretty much the last episode, or last minute before I upload the podcast. I think next time when you guys hear me, probably an episode next week. If not, it might be the next post-match review. In terms of the audio quality, I'm not sure how's that going to be. Hopefully it's not going to disrupt the whole recording session. I hope not, because again, I still want to produce some sort of high quality audio for you guys to listen. So there you goes, guys. There you go. Messed up with my ending as well. Arsenal 3, United 1, and I can go on my flight, with the smile on my face thinking about this game. But at the same time, I can't really put a smile on my face because I have to leave my girlfriend behind for 2.5 weeks. Baby, you'll be fine, okay? So thank you guys for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Do all the good stuff to the channel, and I'll see you guys in a bit.